5 weeks. That's all that stands between the Beast incarnate and the biggest night of his life. But here's the problem, nobody wants to die at WrestleMania. This is the moment that will define legacies, destroy careers, and make you question everything you thought you knew about courage in professional wrestling. Because when Brock Lesnar stands in that ring with Paul Heyman and throws down a challenge that could end someone's career, the entire WWE locker room went silent. Dead silent. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why even the toughest fighters in the world are terrified to answer. The arena lights hit different when you know history is about to be made. Raw, February 23, 2026. State Farm Arena in Atlanta is electric, the crowd buzzing with that nervous energy you only get when something massive is about to go down. You can feel it in your chest, that anticipation, that knowing something legendary is coming your way. And then the music hits. That music. You know the one. The sound that makes your spine tingle and your heart race because you know exactly what it means. The Beast is here. Brock Lesnar, the man who conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak, the man who has left a trail of broken bodies and shattered dreams across 2 decades of dominance, steps through that curtain. And right beside him, the most dangerous man with a microphone in wrestling history, Paul Heyman. The crowd erupts. It's chaos. People are on their feet, phones are out, flashbulbs are going off like lightning strikes. Because this is the first time we've seen Brock since the Royal Rumble. The first time since he tore through that match like a human wrecking ball until LA Knight, of all people, eliminated him. And if you know Brock Lesnar, if you've watched this man's career, you know he doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. And he sure as hell doesn't let things slide. Before we go any further, I need you to do something for me. If you're feeling this energy, if you're ready to witness what could be the most important challenge in WWE history, smash the like button right now. Subscribe to SLAMZONE and become part of this family, because we break down these moments together. We feel these emotions together. And trust me when I say you don't want to miss what's coming next. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of the intensity we bring you every single week. Now let's get back to Atlanta, because Paul Heyman is about to drop a bomb that will shake the entire wrestling world. Brock stands there in the center of the ring, arms crossed, jaw clenched, eyes scanning the crowd with that predator intensity that makes grown men uncomfortable. He's not here to smile. He's not here to entertain. He's here for one reason, and Paul Heyman is about to tell us exactly what that is. Heyman raises the microphone, and you can hear a pin drop. That's the power of Paul Heyman. In a building with thousands of screaming fans, he can command absolute silence with just his presence. He introduces himself as the advocate for Brock Lesnar, and there's something about the way he says it that sends chills through the arena. Because when Paul Heyman speaks for Brock Lesnar, people get hurt. Careers end. Legends fall. He starts talking about WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all. The show where dreams come true and nightmares become reality. And he knows, that everyone watching, everyone in that building, everyone at home is asking the same question. Who is going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas? And here's where it gets absolutely insane. Heyman pauses, lets the tension build, and then delivers the line that makes the entire wrestling world collectively gasp. He doesn't have an answer. He doesn't have a prediction. He doesn't even have a spoiler. Because earlier that night, when he and Brock walked through the locker room, when they passed by some of the toughest competitors on planet Earth, not a single person, not one person, was man enough to step up and accept what Heyman calls an ass-kicking of biblical proportions. Let that sink in for a second. The entire WWE roster, all those champions, all those tough guys who talk about being the best, about being fearless, about being unstoppable, they all went quiet when the Beast walked by. You can feel the weight of that statement crushing down on the arena. Heyman isn't just throwing shade. He's speaking the truth, and everybody knows it. Because fighting Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania isn't just a match. It's a death sentence for your career if you're not prepared. It's the moment where you either become a legend or become a cautionary tale. The crowd is losing their minds. Half of them are chanting for Brock, the other half are stunned into silence, trying to process what they just heard. Camera phones are everywhere, capturing this moment, because people know they're witnessing something that will be talked about for years. This is the kind of segment that defines eras. This is the kind of moment that separates the greats from the forgettable. But Heyman isn't done. Oh no, he's just getting started. Because in the interest of, as he puts it, full transparency, he's going to reveal something that makes this challenge even more intense. He's going to show everyone exactly when Brock Lesnar will be appearing on the road to WrestleMania. And a graphic pops up on the Titantron that lays it all out. March 16th, March 23rd, March 30th, April 6th, April 13th. 5 more episodes of Raw before WrestleMania. 5 more chances for someone, anyone, to grow a spine and accept this challenge. Think about the psychology of that for a moment. Heyman and Brock aren't hiding. They're not playing games. They're giving the entire roster a roadmap, a schedule, saying here's exactly where we'll be and when we'll be there. Come find us. Step up. Prove you're not afraid. It's the ultimate power move. It's saying we're so confident, so dominant, that we'll tell you exactly where we are and you still won't do anything about it. The camera zooms in on Brock's face, and you can see it. That cold, calculating expression that has haunted the dreams of wrestlers for 20 years. He's not sweating this. He's not worried. Because Brock Lesnar knows something that everyone else knows too but doesn't want to admit. He's the most dangerous human being in that building. Possibly the most dangerous human being in professional wrestling history. This is a man who has legitimately hurt people. A man who moves with a speed and power that shouldn't be possible for someone his size. A man who can suplex you through the ring and smile while doing it. The crowd is chanting now. We want Gunther. We want Gunther. Because that's the match everyone wants to see, right? The Ring General versus the Beast Incarnate. Two absolute monsters colliding at WrestleMania. It would be the kind of fight that gets talked about forever. But Gunther isn't here. Nobody's here. And that might be the smartest decision any of them have ever made. Heyman soaks it all in. He knows what he's doing. He's building the tension, creating the suspense, making every single person watching lean forward in their seats wondering who's going to be brave enough, or stupid enough, to answer this call. Because this isn't just about winning or losing. This is about legacy. This is about whether you have the courage to stand across the ring from a man who ended The Undertaker's streak. A man who has beaten John Cena, beaten Roman Reigns, beaten every single person WWE has ever put in front of him when it truly mattered. Remember, if you're loving this breakdown, if you're feeling every word of this, hit that subscribe button. Join the SLAMZONE family. Drop a comment below telling me who you think should accept this challenge. And share this video with every wrestling fan you know, because this is the kind of moment that deserves to be discussed, debated, and remembered. Paul Heyman drops the microphone. Just lets it fall from his hand and hit the canvas with that iconic thud. It's a mic drop that echoes through the building, a statement that says everything has been said that needs to be said. The ball is in the WWE roster's court now. Brock stands there, arms still crossed, that intensity never wavering. He's ready. He's been ready. The question is, who's ready for him? And here's what makes this so absolutely gripping. Every name you can think of becomes a possibility. Could it be Gunther, the world heavyweight champion who has dominated everyone in his path? Could it be Obafemi, the rising star who has been calling out Brock, who has said a match between them is inevitable? Some people are whispering about LA Knight, the man who eliminated Brock at the Royal Rumble. Could Knight be brave enough, or crazy enough, to poke that bear again? Each possibility brings its own story, its own stakes, its own potential for absolute chaos. If it's Gunther, you're looking at two men who have redefined what it means to be dominant in WWE. If it's Obafemi, you're watching the passing of the torch, the young lion trying to slay the alpha predator. If it's LA Knight, you're getting a revenge story that could explode with intensity because Brock doesn't forget and he definitely doesn't forgive. The genius of this whole situation is the uncertainty. WWE has masterfully created a scenario where literally anything could happen. Where the next 5 weeks become must-see television because at any moment, on any show, someone could walk down that ramp and accept the challenge. Every episode of Raw becomes an event. Every segment becomes potential history. Because when that music hits and someone steps up to Brock Lesnar, the entire landscape of WrestleMania changes. Think about what's at stake here. WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. The biggest show of the year in Sin City, where fortunes are won and lost, where legends are made and broken. Allegiant Stadium packed with over 60,000 fans all watching to see if someone can actually beat Brock Lesnar on the grandest stage of them all. The pressure is suffocating. The expectation is crushing. And somewhere in that WWE locker room, someone is going to have to decide if they're willing to risk everything for a shot at immortality. You can almost feel the conversations happening backstage right now. Wrestlers huddled up, discussing strategies, weighing options. Agents and producers trying to figure out who makes the most sense. Triple H and the creative team plotting out the perfect story. Because this can't just be any match. This has to be the match. This has to be the kind of collision that people remember forever, that gets replayed in highlight packages for decades, that becomes the measuring stick for future WrestleManias. And Brock Lesnar knows this. That's why he's so calm. That's why he can stand there with that confidence radiating off him like heat from a furnace. Because he's done this before. He's been in the biggest matches imaginable. He's felt the pressure of the entire wrestling world watching him and he's thrived under it. This is where Brock lives. This is where he's most comfortable. In those moments where everything is on the line and lesser men crumble. 5 weeks until the answers start coming. 5 weeks of speculation and rumor and anticipation building to a fever pitch. 5 weeks for someone to find their courage and step into the fire. But here's the question that's going to haunt everyone until WrestleMania. When someone finally does accept this challenge, when they stand in that ring face to face with the Beast Incarnate, will they regret it? Will they wish they had stayed in the back, stayed safe, stayed alive? Because Brock Lesnar doesn't just beat you. He breaks you. He takes something from you that you can never get back. Ask anyone who has faced him at WrestleMania. Ask The Undertaker about losing his streak. Ask John Cena about getting destroyed. Ask Roman Reigns about being suplexed into oblivion. They'll all tell you the same thing. Fighting Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania changes you, and not always for the better. The raw energy in that Atlanta arena, the electricity in the air, the feeling that you're watching something monumental unfold, that's what wrestling is all about. Those moments where you can't look away, where you're completely invested in what happens next, where every word matters and every gesture carries weight. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar just created one of those moments. They threw down a challenge that will reverberate through the entire industry until someone is brave enough or foolish enough to pick up that gauntlet. Make sure you're part of this journey with us. Subscribe to SLAMZONE right now, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments who you want to see accept this challenge. Because over the next 5 weeks, we're going to break down every possibility, analyze every angle, and experience every moment together. This is what we do. This is why we're here. To feel these emotions, to share these experiences, and to witness history being made together as a family. The countdown has begun. 5 episodes of Raw. 5 chances for someone to step up. And then, on April 18th and 19th in Las Vegas, someone is going to walk into Allegiant Stadium knowing they have to fight Brock Lesnar in front of the world. That someone is going to have to look across the ring at a man who has ended careers and broken records, and they're going to have to believe they can win. They're going to have to believe they can survive. This isn't just an open challenge. This is a declaration. Brock Lesnar is saying, I'm here, I'm ready, and I dare you to try to stop me. It's the kind of swagger that only comes from years of dominance, from a resume that speaks for itself, from knowing deep in your soul that you're the alpha predator in the jungle. And right now, the rest of the WWE is trying to figure out if they're predators too, or if they're just prey. The beauty of professional wrestling is moments like this. When the lines between reality and storytelling blur, when you genuinely don't know what's going to happen next, when the possibilities are endless and the stakes couldn't be higher. Brock Lesnar standing in that ring with Paul Heyman, issuing an open challenge to the entire roster, laying down the gauntlet for WrestleMania. This is the stuff that makes you fall in love with this business all over again. So here we are. The challenge has been issued. The schedule has been revealed. The clock is ticking. And somewhere, somehow, someone is going to have to find the courage to walk down that ramp and say yes. Yes to the challenge. Yes to the opportunity. Yes to potentially the biggest mistake of their career or the greatest moment of their life. That's the story we're going to be following together. That's the journey we're on right now. From this moment in Atlanta all the way to Las Vegas in April. Every step of the way, SLAMZONE will be here breaking it down, analyzing it, feeling it with you. Because this is our passion. This is what we live for. These moments that remind us why we love professional wrestling. One more time before we wrap this up. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single update on this story. Comment below with your predictions, your thoughts, your feelings about who should step up to Brock Lesnar. And share this video with every wrestling fan you know because these are the conversations that make this community special. The Beast Incarnate has spoken. Through Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar has thrown down the challenge of a lifetime. 5 weeks to find an opponent. 5 weeks for someone to prove they belong on the grandest stage of them all. 5 weeks until we see if anyone in WWE has what it takes to stand toe-to-toe with the most dangerous man in professional wrestling. This is just the beginning. The real story, the real drama, the real emotion, that's all still to come. And we're going to experience every second of it together. Welcome to SLAMZONE. This is where legends are made and legacies are defined. This is where we witness history. And brother, we're just getting started.